Welcome back again to Apache Kafka series. In the previous video, we have looked into how to configure firewall for our Kafka, that is for port 9092. This firewall will allow our application, that is the Java application we have written previously, the producer and consumer, to access Kafka on the GCP cloud or on the instances that we have configured. In this video, we are going to continue with testing the producer and consumer to make sure that this consumer and producer are able to connect to our Kafka on the cloud and then send message and receive message. So let's continue. I have opened the SSH console for both instances, or for all the instances. These are our instances, Apache Kafka series 1, 2 to 3. These instances are all now running, ready with Kafka and Zookeeper. And then we have already configured the cluster, and we already configured the Zookeeper ensemble. All our application from the cloud side are ready, the Kafka and Zookeeper. So now let's go to our consumer and producer and check what is going on there. So now you can see on the screen, this is the consumer and this is the producer we have written previously. And now let's start both the consumer and producer to see what is going on. For example, let's start with the consumer. And one thing before starting, you have to configure, you have to set this public IP addresses, because your client, that is the consumer and producer, are going to connect using these public IP addresses. So you take the public IP addresses, then instead of previously, we have set local host here with the port, then now we change that with the IP addresses. I have changed it already. You just copy and paste, and I put now the public IP addresses on the consumer side, and also the same thing on the producer side. So I copy the same and just paste it here, and we are still using our default topic, the Kafka series. And also, after I have configured this, by default, when Kafka connects, if the port does if the topic does not exist, it will try to create the topic. So for now, let's start our consumer and see what will happen. Okay, let's start it in debug mode so that if there is any error, we can easily see it. Okay, our consumer, let's open this a bit, drag it up. So let's see, it's starting, I think. Okay, yes, port. Okay, now I think we got an error, and okay, I think our consumer is trying to connect to the GCP, but it's getting an error, and this is due to we have to map this name, or the host name, to the IP addresses, because one of the things I think consumer do is that after resolving the IP addresses to host name, then it tries to use the host name instead of the IP addresses, and for that reason you might be seeing this kind of exception. So let's stop the consumer and then open our terminal. Okay, we already have it opened. So now from our terminal, let's go and open edit our host file, the etc file, tc hosts. And from here we are going to add we are going to map the IP addresses to our port. For example, this is the first node, the third node. Where is this is the first node. So one thing we are going to do, we can see we can either copy it from here directly, the IP addresses of the IP address of the first node, then come back here paste the IP address, then copy the host name. This is the host name. Okay, after copying the host name, then I map it to the IP address. Next, let's copy the second node. Okay, the IP address of the second node, then the name, resolved name of the second node. This is the third one. Let's see the second node. Okay, this is the second node. We copy it again and then we paste it. Then the third node. Okay, let's copy it also and then paste it and get the name. Okay, then I copy the name of the third node. Okay, then now I have this. Okay, now the I have mapped now the IP addresses to the host names. And now let's restart our consumer again and see if it will resolve the problem. Okay. Yes. Great. So now our consumer has resolved the issue. So you see now our consumer is connected. Okay, good. And you can see Kafka CD partitions are assigned to the consumer. So you can see that now the consumer is connected, and then okay, good. So we have I created the topic when I started this. So you can see now in the topic also I created the topic with 3 partitions. Actually I just used the previous command. If you have watched the previous videos, we have created where we created this topic. So instead of the replication, I gave replication to 3, I think in the cloud. Then I gave also the partition to 3 partitions. So this topic in the cloud now is having 3 replicas and 3 partitions. So, and you can see the partitions here for that the consumer is now going to consume from. Now let's also start our producer then. Okay, producer also started. Producer doesn't have a lot to do. So now the consumer and the producer are all connected to our application. So I think we can also clear this screen, because now we have seen Kafka CDs partition assigned to consumer. Then consumer is assigned there's 3 partitions. So let's clear the console, and then let's also clear this console. Then now let us open our postman, and then try to send a request from the postman. Okay, now the postman also has opened, and then okay, with the postman now, this is our endpoint, the endpoint to the producer. We don't have any endpoint to the consumer, because consumer normally will consume and maybe insert the record, or maybe calculate something and then forward the record to another queue or to another application, or maybe save it to the database. So we are just going to see the logs here. But the consumer endpoint that we have in our controller, we have 2 endpoints, the async and the sync. If you watch previous video, you should have known this. So now let's send a request, and let's see our body. We are just sending an ID of 1 and a message. Okay, so now we are done. We're gonna send and receive our message through the clients we have written. So this is message 1. We don't have to send a lot of messages, so just send it, or let me say through the GCP. GCP cloud, GCP Kafka. Okay, so now we have sent the message. Yes, our producer connected. Our producer sent the message, most probably. Let's see our consumer if it received the message. Great. Let's see the message, and you can see we have the message here. We have the information, the event with topic. You see the topic name, Kafka series 1, and then you can see topic name, Kafka series 1, and this message was sent to partition 2. And this is the message. We have the ID, and then we have our message. So now everything is working. So as you can see now, we are also able to connect our client with the client we have written from Java application to the Kafka on the GCP. Okay, this is the end of connecting our clients to the GCP cloud, or to the Kafka on the GCP cloud. I hope this will benefit someone out there. If you have any question or you are interested in other topics, you can write in the comment. So thank you very much.